Welcome to Forthright, the podcast with, for and by women writers.
We have some brilliant guest writers lined up for you this season, covering a wide range of genres and experience.
We hope you enjoy it.
Hello and welcome to the Forthright podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Anna, and today we're absolutely delighted to have Jo Middleton. Hi, Jo.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So Jo is a writer, bookshop manager, creative writing teacher and mum of 2 daughters. She lives in Somerset with her 3 cats, all named after fictional detectives, and a goofy golden retriever. Happy Bloody Christmas is her second novel.
And Jo's going to do us a reading from that, so I'm just going to give you the blurb. Anna's Christmas Eve to-do list. 1. Wrap the kids' presents. 2. Peel the potatoes. 3. Get rid of the dead body. Hungover and exhausted after her family's annual party, all Anna Johnson wants for Christmas is to finish her to-do list and finally sit down with the world's biggest glass of wine. But when she stumbles across a dead body in her larder, her plans are well and truly buggered. A mysterious death in her home really is the last thing she needs, but with her judgmental in-laws arriving in less than 24 hours, turning a house into a crime scene is not an option. If she's going to save Christmas, it's up to Anna to find out what the hell is going on. Oh, and figure out what to do with the body before one of the kids finds it. And you thought burning the turkey was the worst that could happen. So, Fab, if you just kind of contextualise the bit that you're reading for us.
Yeah, sure. So this is just a bit from chapter 1.
Brilliant.
So she's woken up, she's hungover, and she's on her way downstairs to try and clear up the wreckage from the Christmas party they've had the night before.
Fab.
Okay. I only paused once on the way down the stairs for some hangover-induced deep breathing and to press my cheek against the cool wall, which is not bad at all. The living room, however, is very bad. It's worse than I remembered. A sea of dirty glasses and empty bottles and puddles of mulled wine on the coffee table, like a sad-looking festival site when everyone has gone home. It's fine. This is what dishwashers are for. And Lily's taking care of the crisps. I just need a couple of bin bags and to sneak some of the bottles into next door's recycling. And it will all be fine. All completely fine. I decided to start by packing away the twister. I don't know what we were trying to prove with the twister, honestly. That we were all still university students and that playing twister will be kind of fun and sexy because we're all so lithe and supple. Hardly. I can barely touch my toes nowadays. Whenever I go to the yoga class in the hall at Lily's school, I wear loose trousers so the instructor can't see when I sneakily bend my knees. She's very intense and I know she'd be disappointed in me. She's one of those vegans who likes everybody to know about it, which, come to think of it, is all the vegans I've ever met. Suffice to say that seductive straddling is definitely off the table. I hope very much that there are no photographic evidence of me trying to reach over our neighbour Marcus on all fours to get my left hand on a blue. I bend down to pick up the plastic sheet and instantly 1,000 ball bearings rush to the front of my head. I have a second where I don't know whether it's better to stand up again or let myself fall all the way onto the floor and stay there. But I think of Ollie's mum, Pamela, and the triumphant look on her face if she were to turn up and see me lying in my dressing gown on the floor, surrounded by empty bottles, and I opt for standing up. Twister packed away, I head to the kitchen, fill the kettle with water and put it on to boil. I get out 2 mugs, Emma Bridgewater sausage dogs for me, and the chipped one we got from the garage when we last had the car service for Ollie, and the milk from the fridge. I go to get the coffee and bin bags from the walk-in larder, my pride and joy and envy of the entire PTA. I open the door and am nearly knocked off my feet by Tommy erupting from inside. He makes a dash for the cat flap in the back door opposite the larder and is gone. Stupid cat. How did he get himself shut in there? I look around the kitchen and realise I haven't seen Tuppence yet either. Normally they'd be on the bed, clawing at my hair, petitioning for breakfast by about 6 a.m. The festivities must have sent her off somewhere to hide. I turn back to the larder, reaching up to the bin bags, and see Father Christmas slumped against the cereal shelf. I close the door again. That can't be right. I blink twice, We open the door, and he's still there. He's knocked some things off the shelf, and he's covered with a light dusting of flour. It's actually very festive, as though it's been snowing. It's the spelt flour that was £3.75 from the farmer's market, which is a shame. I should probably stop going to the farmer's market. I find it very difficult not to buy something once I've made eye contact, which I guess is what the storeholders rely on. I think the spelt stand is actually run by a cult, though. So I must be careful, as they're always inviting people to visit their bakery and enjoy a meal with them. I noticed that as well as the flour, Father Christmas's lap is covered with ketchup, which is weird because I keep the ketchup up here on the left and it's still there. I look again and realise that in the middle of the ketchup is the handle of a knife at right angles to Santa's body. Weird. Time seems to slow, and it takes my amaretto-soaked brain longer than it should to realise why I can't see the blade of the knife and that the ketchup isn't ketchup at all. It's congealed blood. Fuckety hell, someone has killed Father Christmas.
It's so brilliant. I loved this book so much, and you absolutely had me at the fuckety hell, and I was like, yep, okay, I'm in. So yeah, and I love the character of Anna, and she's really relatable, and I love like how like easily distracted she is. Yeah, at one point I think I was almost sort of shouting at her to remember the thing that she'd forgotten. But anyway,
she is very easily distracted. She's got a lot on her mind.
Yes, but so I was just thinking about how like a different character in that situation would have handled it very differently to how Anna handled it. So, which came first, Anna or the premise for the book?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they probably came hand in hand. You know what actually came later was Anna's best friend Jenny. That wasn't sort of part of the initial plan. But then once I kind of struck on the idea, I was like, well, obviously she needs to have a best friend. She needs to have the woman on the outside, doesn't she? Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think Jenny might be almost my favourite character, but don't tell Anna.
So did you, when you say that, like, so with her best friend coming in later and kind of the dynamic between the two of them as well, and moving that story on as well, did you, obviously you've got some really big plot points that are revealed from the word go, but did you plan how you wanted the story to end, or did you start with Dead Father Christmas and see where the story went from there?
Well, I did a lot of planning, to be honest, because I actually tried writing a murder mystery about 10 years ago, and I'd read that some crime writers just sort of start writing and let the story evolve. And I thought that sounded like quite a fun way to do things.
Yeah.
So I started writing, and my story was actually two mums at school, and they found a body in the school swimming pool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I got to about 15,000 words and I didn't have any clues at all, and I had no idea who did it. And I had to stop. So with this one, I had a full plan mapped out before I started writing anything at all. So I knew what was going to happen, like what important thing did I need to happen in every chapter.
Yeah.
And I knew what all my clues were going to be, and how everybody was going to be involved.
And did you have like your own murder board?
Do you know, I really, really wanted a murder board, but it felt too complicated. I had Post-it,
yes.
but I think that was about as close as I got. But I would absolutely love the whole murder board with the string.
We spoke to Victoria Dowd, who she made like the whole model. It was set on an island, and she made it all out of Lego, so she could work out where everyone needed to be with that.
Oh my goodness!
Didn't she have a small person that came and moved them around though, and then it just kind of like really messed up the whole thing.
Well, in the book too, which has a different setting, it's like a country house hotel. I do have a map drawn out, and I'm going to be petitioning for there to be a map in the front of the book because
nice.
How cool is that? And I've also bought a painting of a country house that is exactly what I imagine in my head. so I can get myself in the mood for it.
Oh, that's such a good idea. I think with writing murder mystery as well, and they said that you kind of like set your different clues along the way. But did you have to? Did you have a kind of like a beta reader to read it to make sure that it all kind of flowed and you hadn't kind of dropped something somewhere and it hadn't been picked up later on?
Yeah, well, I'm actually really lucky because my family are perfectly placed for that. So my eldest daughter, who is 29 now, actually has a creative writing master's.
Uh-huh.
So I let her read things, and then I feel like she's going to be probably, I don't know, correcting me, or she's quite fussy. So if she says she likes something or that something is good, that's a massive compliment. And my sister as well is a comedy screenwriter. So I get her to read things, and so between them, I've got a really good team of people who can sense check stuff for me. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
And so because you sort of started your journey with writing a parenting blog.
Yes, I did back in the early days of blogging.
That's really. That's how I started my kind of entry into writing novels as well. My first novel was a parenting blog that then I fictionalized into a. It's an interesting kind of transition, I think, isn't it? From, how did you find that? How did you find that experience from blogging to kind of writing a novel?
That was actually how my first book came about. So I started my blog in 2009, which is like ancient now. And then it was in 2019 that Penguin got in touch, completely randomly out of the blue, which I know is going to be super annoying for people trying to get a book published. Just had an email from an editor at Penguin saying they'd been reading my blog and had I ever thought about writing fiction. And I told them the story about my crime novel that had no clues. And she very kindly ignored that and said that wasn't really what they'd had in mind anyway. But it was weird because when you're used to writing non-fiction, writing fiction, I don't know, like to me, it feels, it was uncomfortable to start with because it felt like lying. It felt like I was like making stuff up, which I know is the point. I know that's what fiction is. But I'm, when you've built a kind of whole persona around writing stuff that's honest and authentic, it was quite a shift and took some getting used to.
I completely get that, because I think when I was writing a parenting blog, it was around 2011, so kind of a similar kind of time where there was like the mum, it was very much kind of like the rise of that mum and dad blogging scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was through my blog that I found my agent, and I'd say having a blog was a really good way of being able to put your work out there for people to see the quality of what you're writing as an alternative to pitching, I guess.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that must have been like a real landmark moment then when you got that email from Penguin. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was, well, to start with, I thought maybe it was a prank. My children do have a tendency to enjoy a prank.
That would be so mean.
I know. But what it meant was that I didn't actually start writing it until I signed the contract, by which point I only had 2 months. So I would put myself up against it a little bit. But yeah, it was very surreal. And I got the email, I think it was like the week of my 40th birthday.
Oh, amazing.
And it felt very like you say, like quite a landmark moment at sort of a really pivotal point in my life. So yeah, it was, a real surprise.
And so with only having 2 months then to do it, you just had to get it all out. But
yeah, then, I'm really quick. It's fine. It was okay.
And then how does that differ then with Happy Bloody Christmas? Like, how long did that take?
Oh, well, I wrote that in 6 weeks.
Oh, my God. You're a machine.
Well, do you know what? I really, the planning in advance helps a lot
yeah.
because you know what you're going to say. So each time you start a chapter, you have a look at your notes and you're like, oh, okay, cool, this has to happen, this has to happen. And then basically I just imagined in my head that I was watching an episode of Death in Paradise.
Yeah.
And I wrote down what was happening, and that was it. That doesn't sound very sophisticated as a process, but yeah, that's how I did it. So I would just basically felt like I was just listening in. So I would be listening and like, oh, what's she going to say next? And then I'd hear it and then write it down.
And so how many drafts or redrafts did you have to go through before you thought, right, I think this is it?
I don't want to sound like annoying, but I didn't. I just wrote the whole thing just straight.
We think you're amazing.
You are our hero for sure.
Do you know, I think though, the type of book, because both the books I've written have been first person, and I do think they lend themselves to that, because there were parts of the first book where I went back and redrafted, and those I think are the worst bits, because a lot of it is like an internal monologue and just like her thoughts. It has to be spontaneous, and I think you can really easily overwork that, and it loses the natural kind of flow. So that's my excuse.
I mean, it really works. It really works with Anna. It's, you know, the train of thoughts and where it goes off in all different directions. Like, it's just so relatable, I think. Yeah, and I think if you went back and like redrafted that, you'd lose that. I think. I was just going to say, like, what time of year were you working? Was it Christmassy? Did you have to have a trick to kind of get yourself in the festive spirit?
I wrote it sort of March, April time. So no, it wasn't hugely Christmassy, but I love Christmas. I'm very easily slip into a Christmas frame of mind.
Yeah,
I was fine with that. Yeah. I'll put this time. I might put a few Christmas songs on in the background.
Yeah. We had someone we spoke to as well. Sorry, that she is really into smells, and so she's got like almost a kind of apothecary of different scents that helps her.
Oh,
start
nice!
Writing.
I like
so,
that.
Yeah, you need some like. Mulled wine on in the background and the smell.
Mulled wine all year round.
And I think it's because as well, like when you work in any sort of area of journalism, you're used to like the whole Christmas in July thing, you know, and so that's fine. I can get into a mulled wine and a mince pie any time of the year for sure.
So you were saying about obviously writing in 6 weeks, which does blow my mind a little bit, and but I wonder, is there a point where you get stuck with your story? I know you're talking about that you plan, and that also you have this like visual cues as you're writing, but do you ever get to a point where you think, I've run out of words, or it's just not happening today? And if you do, what do you do to kind of kickstart it again?
It's tricky, because when you're on a really tight deadline, I think you're sort of forced. You don't have that luxury, and it forces you. Because I could have taken months and months, you know, and I had a rest when I needed to, and waited for like the creativity to strike. But I think you have to just go for it, and actually having the deadline is what motivates me personally. And I know that doesn't work for everybody, but that's what makes me write, knowing that I have to. So I always, like with any piece of work, I leave it. I never cut it too fine, but I'm very like practiced now. I know how long stuff's going to take me. But I start at the point at which I know I need to start in order to finish just about on time. So, you know, I've put that pressure on myself to know that I have to do it, but not too much pressure that I'm going to be late. But otherwise I think, you know, you could just be there, you know, every day thinking, oh well, I'm not sure about today, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start the next day. You just have to go for it, I think.
So have you are you still working on the sequel? That's done as well.
Yeah. So, well, not quite done, as in not quite started.
Oh,
but,
okay. It's just because you've got the whole like the title and everything. It sounds like it's more progressed.
Already.
But also, it sounds like it might be in about 2.5 weeks, and it will be done at the pace that you work.
You can pre-order it right now.
Amazing.
It doesn't exist, but you can pre-order it. No, I've got the plan. I've got the whole plan. And so I've got like 300 or 400 words for every chapter already that I know. So I know like what I need to write. It will just be a case of sitting down and writing it. So I've got my deadline for that is the end of March. So I'm starting after Christmas. I think you can't start something over Christmas, can you? It's Christmas.
But you can do lots of food-based research, I would say.
Yeah, and I might go to a few like stately homes and have a look around and picture where I might put, a little secret panel or something like that. That's all counts as work, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, and always with a Baileys in hand as well, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Christmas is your thing now? Do you think you'll have further stories that are at different times of the year?
Oh, well, I'd love to have her solving mysteries all year round.
Yeah.
I think she would be like just a great, private detective. But so I don't know. So we'll see. The second one is a Christmas book as well. Yeah. But obviously they've gone away for Christmas this time to try and escape the horror. But what do you know? What are the chances they have another mystery to solve? But yeah, she could be, PTA Summer Fate. I'm thinking feels like a prime location. Easter egg hunt. Maybe the Easter bunny turns up in a skiff or something.
Well,
I think there's all kinds of different themes. I could build them around.
So, Jo, like your life is immersed in writing by the sounds of it. So you're a writer, you're a bookshop manager, you're a creative writing teacher. Have you always known that writing was your calling, or did you?
Oh, absolutely not. I did an economics degree.
Did you?
Maths was my thing. I did like maths A-level, maths and languages. I didn't do anything English past GCSE. Never particularly enjoyed it. I certainly wasn't. I was just saying to my mum the other day, actually, saying like, I wasn't the sort of child, was I, that just sort of sat about writing stories. I had a newspaper, obviously, that I made with my sister, the Banjo Times.
Amazing.
But and we had our own radio show recorded on cassette tape. But then, everybody did that, didn't they, in the 80s?
Different times before the internet, indeed.
Yeah, you made your own fun, didn't you? But no, honestly, not really ever been like, certainly not like something that I've just always felt I wanted to do. I'd never even really thought of writing a novel until I was just approached out of the blue. And then, so I enjoyed writing the first one, but I also found it quite difficult. But Happy Bloody Christmas, honestly, I absolutely loved it. It was like such a fun 6 weeks. I just had a really good time writing it. But I didn't have any kind of angst. I didn't have any kind of writer's block. I just absolutely loved it because it's such a silly, fun book.
Yeah, and I think that really comes across and as you read it as well, that the silliness, the fun. Yeah.
So I was just having a silly, fun time, imagining her doing all these silly, fun things. So yeah, it was brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to after Christmas getting stuck into the next one, and hope that it's just as fun, which I think it will be.
And with your blog, when you started writing it, were you writing it with an audience, with a readership in mind, or were you writing it for yourself?
Oh, no, do you know what? I was actually writing it from in a professional capacity, because I had given up a job and decided I wanted to be a freelance journalist, because I was watching a lot of Sex and the City and I got all carried away with the idea of writing a sex column outside the cafe. So I actually started writing it just as a way, like you were saying earlier, really, to sort of showcase writing. And then I would write little posts, and then I would pitch features some magazines and say, look, this had a lot of feedback. I think this would be a popular topic. So that was why I set out to do it. And honestly, started with really no idea that there were other parents writing blogs, and then sort of found that I was in this community all of a sudden. Which was not expected at all. So the way that the blog went was, completely unexpected. That most of my life is, honestly. I don't really plan very much. I just wait and see.
Well, it seems to work for you.
Along. You don't plan very much apart from your novels.
Apart from that. But I think if you don't know what's coming and you've not planned for things, you can't be disappointed, can you? Everything's just a lovely surprise.
This is true. In terms of your next novel then, so we can pre-order that now, but okay, and then it's due out later on next year. What kind of time?
Yeah, so that'll be October next year, in time for Christmas.
But Happy Bloody Christmas is in all good bookshops as
Happy
we speak.
Bloody Christmas, very available now.
Very available.
Tesco, Asda, all of the If your bookshop doesn't have it, ask them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I definitely recommend it as a Christmas present for the readers in everyone's lives, because it's fun. It's a very fun book.
So when we were just talking about the different routes that you got into writing yourself, and not coming necessarily from that background, but fully embracing it when you are, what advice would you give to somebody who's coming to writing, who's new to writing, or who is interested in exploring it as a career or as an idea?
Well, I've got a bit of a motto, and that sounds really lame, but a sort of bit of a personal motto that applies to everything in my life, but I think it definitely applies to writing, which is ready, fire, aim, instead of ready, aim, fire. So I think a lot of people who like the idea of writing a book or think that they have a book idea kind of just sit on it without writing it. Like, if you want to be a writer, you have to actually do some writing.
Yeah.
So my advice really would be just to start. Like, don't feel like you have to wait until, like, I've not got an agent. You don't have to wait until you've ticked, X number of boxes before you can get going.
Yeah.
Just like open your laptop or get out a notebook and just start. I mean, the other thing I think probably most writers would say is reading. That if you want to be a good writer, reading a lot and reading in really varied, loads of different types of books.
Yeah.
I'm looking now as we speak at my massive Agatha Christie collection. When I'm writing, I like listening to audiobooks as well, like crime stuff when I was writing Happy Bloody Christmas, just for like little ideas and little turns of phrase.
At the same time?
Not like as I'm literally at the same time.
No, because that was going to blow my mind completely.
No. But more like, in between when I'm in the car or when I'm falling asleep. Yeah, no, I'm not like, not simultaneously.
That would be just holding too many things in your brain at once, I think.
So for our listeners who want to find you, are you on socials and so on? And if so, what are your handles?
I am on mainly Instagram, and it is Jo Middleton Author, and there are plenty of pictures and stories of me, mainly me and my dog, going out for walks and her watching the squirrels and things like that, but also some book and writing stuff too. That's the best place to find me.
Brilliant.
Fabs. It's been absolutely brilliant chatting to you, Jo, and that seemed to whiz by really quickly. So thank you very much. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Happy Bloody Christmas.
Happy Bloody Christmas.
You've been listening to the Forthright podcast.
Check out our website, forthright.uk, for further writing resources and tips.
We hope you're enjoying listening along to all the chats that we have with our fabulous author guests. If you are enjoying it, please, please, please give us 5 stars and leave a review to help us reach more people.
And if you're not enjoying them, then please just don't bother. Thanks very much. Bye.